The Flair Pro 3 is out. Let's give it a go and compare it to my own coffee press. Want to find out how they work, what kind of coffee they make? The Flair Pro 3 arrived really well packaged with a nice little carry box, all the parts inside, so if you ever want to take it with you, go places. Overall I really like the way it's presented in this way. As you can see, a few parts in there for taking out. A simple Allen key screw fitting for one screw at the bottom and you are pretty much ready to go. Comes with an espresso shot mirror, which is a nice touch, so you can see how your coffee's coming out at the other end. There's a piston inside a piston, as you can see here, and a little tool to help you kind of reset that piston. Word of warning, I have at times forgotten to reset it halfway through a brew, so yeah, something I think you get used to over time. It comes with a little dosing filter to be able to get your coffee into that little basket. It's a 46ml basket and it has a little tamper to help put it in there. What's interesting is that the coffee can be ground a bit coarser than you would do on a, say, 58mm. And the tamping is perhaps not as essential as it might be on a 58mm. Here we go, we're assembling it. Make the first one with a 17g coffee, put some hot water in the top. The Flair Pro 3 is sold as not needing a preheat, so let's give that a go here. Put the pressure gauge in and press down. I was a bit shaking when I tried to get up to 9 bar. I actually found this quite surprising. I thought it would be easier. Having said that though, maybe I need to go to the gym, and also I think it works at 6 bars. So perhaps not quite the deal breaker it looks like. And here's a shot of the actual espresso. It looks really good. I'll let you know a bit more later on about the kind of taste of the espresso. I'm going to try also the other route, which is the Flair provide a special silicone funnel that goes on the top of the kettle. You put your brew chamber into that and get it out. But as you can see there, do possibly use gloves that cover all sides of your fingers. I found the hot steam was going over the towel as I was holding it. Here you can see I've kind of forgotten to reset that internal piston, so did that then, but I think we'll get used to that. Refill with hot water again and pop your gauge in and back down again. Let's make another coffee. Slight caveat with the ergonomics of it all is if you have a smooth surface like I do and a bit of water, that maker will slide forward. That pre-brew temperature does yield to sort of slightly darker looking crema on the espresso, so a bit more extraction going on. Then we go put it all back away into its individual part and let's have a look at the CAY coffee press. CAY coffee press is 58mm standard, a bit like you'd see in commercials, so you use a normal portafilter tamping. The process with the CAY CAY is to put a quarter cup of hot water into the pot and then flush that through the group head, much like you would do with perhaps when you're doing a normal espresso, and then refilling the pot and ultimately now pushing. It's a kind of 2 or 3 times pump to get the full espresso volume out. It is worth noting that the CAY coffee press has a large tank in the back, so you can make about 3 espressos in a row. So if it's for you, your partner and a friend, you're all good to go. With the Flair you'd have to kind of do the full setup every time round, so that is a bit of a win for the CAY. When done, empty the pot out at the end and it's pretty much good to go for the next round. Both makers are pitched at small size and being able to fit into somebody's kitchen easily. Here's a comparison of the two next to each other, stored away or put out. As you can see, the Flair kind of reaches out a bit further, but it's perhaps a little bit shorter. So larger footprint on the Flair, but less height. So the big question is, do they make a good coffee? So here's 2 of them side by side. I decided not to do the preheat route on the Flair because I think the preheat with that funnel in the top of the kettle is a bit of a faff. I did do the preheat on the CAY CAY where you kind of flush a quarter of a cup through. A quick note on temperatures, I did some FLIR recordings on the exit temperature and the Flair comes out 15 degrees lower with no preheat and about 5 degrees lower in temperature with the preheat, which seems kind of significant. The taste profiles are interesting. They're both, are they good, are they bad? They're different. 46mm basket on the Flair is quite a narrow gauge. It takes a coarser coffee, less prone to channeling, probably works at that lower temperature. The in-cup temperature felt lukewarm, but I guess a lot of people might mix it with a hot milk. It has a really sweet taste, the Flair, nice and rounded. It's a nice shot, it looks great. The CAY, if we compare that to it, is more the classic 58mm. It has some of those acidic notes. gives a bit of a sort of a brighter touch to it, perhaps a bit more clarity so you can taste the different flavours within the coffee. For me, it comes down to this: if you want to be part of that 58mm classic commercial and direct fit with most espresso grinders, the kind of thing you'd find in your coffee shop, different kind of baskets. It's a massive ecosystem around the 58mm, different basket sizes, different flow behaviours, different tastes. The CAY press, it makes a great espresso, brings out the acidic notes a little bit more, clarity and texture of different flavours. On the other hand, the Flair is a simpler dial-in, albeit a more difficult brew, and for one person probably. I'd love to know what you think. What has your experience been with Flair over the years? Your sort of impressions on the CAY CAY coffee press?